Got the Chicago Bears also on a back-to-back road spot, Sean. They're heading to Indy to take on the Colts. Very similar to the game we just talked about. -1.5, although it was 2.5 on the look ahead. -120 again on the money line for the home team, the Colts. Bears +102. 43.5 is the total. We've seen, I think we've seen this number come down a small tick. Like I mentioned, Bears on that back-to-back road spot, and this is a very confusing game for me.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, the Bears have not looked good on offense at all, but they've been competitive in games thanks to their defense. Meanwhile, the Colts defense clearly has issues, but their offense is like insane. If you look at some of the yards per play stuff,
because they played Colts are one of the harder teams to get a handle on because they lost in two completely different ways. One where they had some explosive plays in a dome against a Texans team that was a very good team. They lost, they lost by a couple of points. I know because I had Houston laying 2.5. They gave them everything they could. Played a very good game, and then they go into Green Bay, non-conference road spot. In hindsight, what are we doing taking AR-15 as a non-conference road favorite? And they got pushed around. They got out game planned. It was a smash mouth strategy. It was a very obvious strategy to me. It was like Colts load the box. Yeah. They're going to run the ball at you. And they did. It was like 50+ rushing attempts and the Colts didn't do anything to stop it.
I think DeForest Buckner getting hurt had something to do with that.
That didn't help. And then on their offensive side, Jonathan Taylor, 12 carries for over 100 yards. Why are you not running the fucking ball, Shane Steichen? I don't get it. They were talking about all this awesome RPO stuff they were going to do. Wasn't there. It was a lot of AR-15 trying to improvise.
He looked like he was told not to run.
There was like a weird, we were trying to say, was he hurt? Was he playing? So he's not on the injury report. And I was going back and forth with this too, because DeForest Buckner not being there is big. He would have feasted. I was going to say eated. He would have ate against his Bears offensive line, which has looked pretty rough. But here's what I'll say. Non-conference road spot for Caleb Williams, back-to-back road spot for a rookie quarterback is a very tough spot. And then we'll come back to a overall trend that I've been kind of keeping my eye on. Not going to play it blindly, but I think if it's close, I'm going to look to it to maybe swing the tide. Teams that are 0-2 straight up in the NFL, 26-25 straight up, but 35-15-1 ATS against 1-1 teams in week 3 since 2010. So, which kind of makes sense. If you started out 0-2, probably a little undervalued by the market. I think AR-15, as rough as he looks, I have him graded much higher than Caleb Williams. Bears have 2.97 yards per play. Lowest mark in the NFL, but they have played two tough defenses. I think the Titans defense is good. I think the Houston defense at home is good. You said the Bears hung around with the Texans and they did. I think obviously if Cam Akers doesn't fumble on that 1 yard line going in, maybe, and Bears don't backdoor that 6.5, the conversation is a little different. I hope they figure out that, hey, we just need to give Jonathan Taylor the ball a ton, pound the rock. I think you're going to be able to do that against this Bears team. You're going to be able to set up some play action. The vibes, Ryan, if you're a vibes guy, it's tough to like the Bears here catching less than a field goal. So I will go with the Colts, but I can see the case for both sides.
I think your trend on just 0-2 teams, there's a lot of 0-2 team type trends that apply to the Colts, especially the ones that focus on the performance and seeing the offense. 18-7 straight up in ATS when a team is 0-2 and has a yards per play north of 6. 0-2 teams with a +1 yards per play differential, also 75%. So there's all these regression like models that are going to point to the Colts here. And I think I'm with you because here's my pause. So Jonathan Taylor didn't play in the fourth quarter, and this is Shane Steichen he was asked why, and this was the answer. We wanted to get Trey some reps. That was it. Are we worried there's something going on here?
That was weird. And I tried to dig around and find something more.
That's all you can find.
Yeah.
That's all they really asked him about. It seems like everything's normal. whatever injury we saw because AR-15 was throwing like these soft floaters and not running the ball. He's not on the injury report. So I guess we have to assume that the whole team hasn't been, I don't know, visited or abducted and replaced by clones, because they didn't look like the same team.
Yeah, there's in no scenario am I benching Jonathan Taylor for Trey Sermon.
Then what happened?
I don't know.
They do
really
love Trey Sermon in Indy. They do really love him. But yeah, I'm with you. I think you lay the points here. Chicago has yet to impress, and I think Chicago has covered and or pushed last week in their games this year more because of their opponent than because of them. Maybe I'm underrating the defense, but boy, that I watched their tackle. And I think I put this on the old X, but it looked like Eric Flowers and Evan Neal had a baby. Because that tackle the Bears are running out there is a serious problem. And if Caleb Williams going to have no awareness,
I was saying, Caleb Williams holding on to the ball too long, and people he had the sixth quickest release time. It's like, come on, guys, we watch football. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
His awareness, to Ryan's point, is down. I mean, when you sit back there and you don't see the unblocked guy coming off the edge pre-snap, you're going to get fucked up. This is the National Football League. Shout out to Mace Ryan, who looking better and better after making the decision to not associate with P Diddy. I mean,
wow,
we got to get Mace on the podcast sometime, because he was making a bunch of money with P Diddy, having a rap career. Then all of a sudden decided to become a preacher. People are like, wait, what happened there? So maybe he seemed to maybe see something or see the light, make a good choice. But he had a great quote saying, it feels like Caleb Williams is trying to play college football at the pro level. And that's the same thing I'm seeing from Caleb Williams. I think, his ability to extend the play and improvise and do everything that Patrick Mahomes did, who he's being compared to coming in pre-draft, I think that will be a great asset. But before then, he's got to figure out how to play in the pocket, how to, read the progressions, how to make checks at the line. And it's a growing process. I don't think he's there.
I mean, I think, and this is where Patrick Mahomes getting to sit down for almost a full year, probably helping out a little bit, getting a little bit of those mental reps before you get destroyed in real live fire. All right.
So you're on Indy, Ryan.
We are. Yeah, we're riding down the same aisle so far.